It's wheelie bin day here deep inside the UK. That can only mean one thing. Absolutely. Welcome, Supreme Commanders. Today we've got a high-level 3 versus 3, and I'm really looking forward to do this one. And I don't even have to pretend this time. And that's because the Cybrans are versus the Seraphim. That's right, it's a all Cybran versus all Seraphim. These pro-rated players, I've seen these guys, you know, come up with this and do this a few times lately. They haven't always been of the castable grade. All that changes today, and yeah, I think the best result all round would be a complete total annihilation. That will certainly not be a problem for yours truly. It is a 1770 average, and so ways north into the pro bracket. 99% balance, and it's on a unique map owing to the Neroxis map gen. And while we just go ahead and get the bings and the bongs going to introduce ourselves for today. By the way, massive shout out to those that have already helped on the old Patreon thing. I was going to say subscribe, but of course I've got to get my words the right way round. And so thank you very much, those guys, enjoying a couple of 1v1s as well. But yes, back to the game today at hand. Supreme Commander Forged Alliance is currently on sale on the Steam store. Got a reminder on that the other day. And so it's another couple of days still to go as of right now. Don't forget, if you are new, once you have bought it, go to faforever.com and there's a quick start guide there. If you try and play this with Steam Store, well, good luck to you, because you probably ain't going to do that well. All right, then, let's make a start on today's game. There we go. Support commanders, thank you indeed. All right, unpausing the game, bring the sounds in. We are once again rocking the Total Annihilation soundtrack on this one. He says, and of course there is no music to begin with. All right, Hotties versus Coolies set up as well. So just big fan of everything all around what's going on here. Coolies up top in Team 1. Hotties down south Team 2. Team 1 over there rocking as the Cybrans. Team 2 as the Seraphim. And as you can see, as we've said there, 99% balance. Not often Supreme Scoreboard or Supreme Scoreboard 2, as I have, gets anywhere near 99. It's for some reason it really likes 93 and 94% type games. Mentioned that before. So let's just reduce the sound a little bit as we'll start introducing our players. We'll start in back here for no other reason that it's in back, and it's Edgeter. We had this guy several times on the channel. He is, of course, Cybran, as everybody else is on his team. In Sky Blue, Ed, by far the highest rated player in today's game at 2184. And so he's not too far away from 2200 in this guy. And he, starting first land. And what could arguably be called the air slot, I think, for his team. Moving to his southeast ever so slightly in Lilac, we've got Remy. Remy with a dash. Of course, another Cybran as Lilac. He's 1782, having gone first land as well. He is the forward position for his team, but that doesn't necessarily mean front. We'll take a look at the map in a minute. Being, of course, Neroxis Gen. It's the first and last time we'll see it. And last but not least for his team is Icy Tis. If my computer can stop bigging about new hardware getting shoved in and out. I'm not shoving anything in and out right now. I'm trying to cast the game as Icy Tis there in Electric Blue. 1344, the lowest rated player in today's game, as well as for his team there, also starting first land. Switching over to the Seraphim side then, the Hotties. We'll start over here in the burgundy colour is Penguin. 1638 rated. I think we've maybe featured this guy once before on the channel. Either way, there he is in his building his Seraphim units, or Seraphim factories, should I say, structures. Of course, the commander can't really build units unless you want to use a unit to describe a structure, which I guess if it's a warehouse, you kind of can, can't you? Either way, we all know that my English skills leave a little to be desired. Let's move towards the central position then for Team 2, or the Hotties as we're going to call them today, is Kavat. He's gone forward there to the edge of the cliff for a sneaky distance build. And look at that. He's already gotten 2 factories online down there. And he's working on a third, having already gotten one in the main base. Land and looks like, oh, I was going to say second air, but really it's the 4th because we've already got a couple of lands down there as well. So 4th air there for Kavat. And then last but not least is Lunishko. In Ferrari red, of course, Seraphim again. And this guy having gone first land. Lunishko, by the way, is a guy who changes his name more often than I've had hot dinners. We better know him as Rotted Banana. And so if I say rotten banana, those of you on the 1v1 ladders will know. Just rotted. It just comes out rotted. Perhaps because there's a little jokey saying that I may have with my better half about a banana that may have been forgotten about once in the bottom of a camping bag. And, yeah. The less said about that, the better. So already, look how quickly Kavat's managed to get units over to the other side. And, yeah, Remy, no chance, pal. Your factory, it wasn't even finished by the time the units were there. We've got 1 tank, a couple of scouts. There's 2 and 3. And I think Kavat is, well, it's not just that he's going to dominate what looks like the central plateau. There's all the mass points that come with it. There's 10 mass points here. Look at this. We've got 3, another 2 here. Well, all right, let's go 3, 4, 5, and then the mirror. So that's the better way, perhaps, of counting. And so we've got 10. And so quick look at the map. Let's take a little look at the old rulers. Thanks to, of course, Tommy for this one. We're still trying to perfect it. We're still working on it. And if you take a look here, you can perhaps see why the angle is not quite 100%. That's just the way Forged Alliance, it has this weird thing it does, depending on the size of the map. So you can see Neroxis technically 20 by 20, but it ain't really, for whatever reason. And I realize a lot of people not interested in the technicalities. They just want to know the answer. But there you can see it's roughly a 14 kilometer square map. I have got some updated graphics to introduce, but there's just been so much to do lately. And so there we see Remy completely kicked out the mid. Looks like a couple of players lending a hand there. Icitis amongst them. I'm not sure if he's hoping to re-establish on here. Certainly looks like there's a distance build on the cards for Remy. And there we can see the entry. Yeah, some terrible pathfinding. I noticed when I was quickly reviewing this before, this particular map, for whatever reason, has some very, very dodgy pathfinding. And I always thought, I know some people complained about pathfinding for some time on this game. I always thought it weren't bad at all. I mean, if it was, you know, if you're trying to get this engineer from here over here, the way I would do it is select it here, hold shift, click, 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 and then boom. Of course, you've got to click right next to the cliff if you're trying to make use of the distance build. That's a given, but I mean, what? Okay, that changes things just a little bit. I was not expecting that to be an access route. I thought that was shut off. Looks like Kavat having the same antics over here. Take a little closer look over here. I've not seen anything. And yeah, okay, so this is the classic gun versus tech setup that's going to be taking place here. The Seraphim. I really like the Sera gun. The Sera Commander, I think, short of, you know, Mazer on the Cybran, is probably the best commander if you want to use it pure, just offensive. I think it's got upgrades for days. I know some people, it's going to open a can of worms, and some people, no, it's the Aeon with their stun thing. I'm going to disagree. Of course, the UEF has the Billy Newt, which ain't bad either, but, you know, I guess that's slightly more standoffish, if you want to call it that. Icitis there, again, as we've said, with the point defense. Certainly, beam weapons are not the favorite when the map is not completely flat, and I'm not sure if that's at all behind Penguin's decision. If we can see here, one of the beautiful things about the Neroxis map gen is that it don't just put a flat map down. There's these very little bumps and lumps, just very slightly sometimes, but that can be enough to throw the old Sera point defense off. And so, yeah, no surprise. As soon as he's gotten himself ready, going for a radar first, then a point defense. Turn that down a tad. And Penguin here with, well, both guys have got units, but Penguin with his gun, a couple of the rounds missing and going ways off into the distance. Best I can tell, if a round ever misses and does go off, it never then causes any damage at the other end. Do let us know if you've ever seen that differ. And so we see here Icitis desperately trying to get Tech 1 point defense online versus the enemy commander, and it's always worth building on top of the Rex here and here. It's going to be much quicker to try and build point defense on top of the existing point defense. Exactly twice as fast, twice as cheap. What's not to do about it? Icitis desperately trying to throw units forward to do something else. And here he is. He's heard us. There's one. Oh, why there? Why not here? Go here, man. And he's going back to work on his Tech 2. He's got just enough here to prevent Penguin from completely overrunning, but it's very tight. Once this Cerberus is online, assuming he can keep that online, that's going to help massively, because that's going to help just tickle away all of this spam that Penguin's flowing through. And providing Icitis can keep up with his spam, that's going to be enough to force Penguin back. And it looks like Penguin is indeed retreating. And there's quite a lot of mass there now. Let's take a look. Yeah, we've got 2.5. Easy. Quick check elsewhere. So Coolies in control on their side, pushing through the halfway mark. We see Kavat here. His side expansion, if we want to call it, belonging to Kavat's, has been overrun there with forces from Remy. Remy then, and I'm not sure why he pulled back. Perhaps he thought these were superior. Well, that's because they are. We're getting a couple of Ilshis in the mix here. And the Ilshis with this little bit of spam, I'm not sure Remy's going to want to hang around too long. We've got Kavat on the line here with the gun as well. Remy is still bare. And so at 10 minutes 30, that's quite a long time. Taking a quick look here, we've got a strap bomb out from Lushenko. Let's just call him Banana. Oh, he's hover bombing as well. At least 4 mass points gone. And that makes it 6. That is a worthwhile strap bomb there. Checking back over in the northeast side. Icitis looks like he's been not just the beneficiary of that mass, but pushing forwards as well. Penguin here working on Nano. So I don't think Penguin is ready to give up on this spot. He just wants to bulk himself up a bit before swinging back around. Check back in momentarily. Nice bombing run there from Icitis, bagging up some of the engineers there that were helping to assist the commander. But I think he's got it. Has he got it? Yes, he does. So apologies for that very fast zoom there. I just wanted to check over in on the run by down here from Remy, but it looks like the two commanders down here working together are going to tidy that up indeed. And so that's going to force Remy back despite a very effective push. This is going to hold Kavat back somewhat, but don't forget, Kavat, having dominated the central area, does have the extra 10 mass points there, even if he has lost. Well, it looks like there's a lot more than 10 points missing. Back over here, meanwhile. We're going for the old point defense. 14 hit points left on this engineer. And it looks like Icitis is realizing the gig is up. He reclaims. He's trying to rebuild over here, but with one, you're going to need more than one Cerberus turret to put off a Seraphim commander that's got gun and nano. I'm surprised he didn't try and pick off the shield before it went, but I don't think it's really going to matter too much. Penguin like a pro, kiting his units behind his commander. Of course he is a pro, really. 1638, it's right on that border. Somebody, you know, I was saying Joes and pros, there's too big of a gap. You don't suddenly go from Joe to being a pro. I feel like there needs to be this middle ground. And somebody said last time, what about bro? And I thought, yes, bro, that's I like that one, bro. And Penguin's certainly falling into that gap. If we listen out, I can hear there's another strat bomb doing the rounds. Yeah, and this is the second one out from Rotted Banana. So far with 2 kills. Bags himself 2 more mass points. Still alive, just. Check back on it in a minute. But Penguin is just balls to the wall, pushing, man. And together with these mobile missile launchers in tow, and now gunships as well, I think Icitus has had it, man. He's had it. Quick check on the bomber over there. 13 kills, just 200 hit points remain. See it down in the southwestern corner of the map. Well, what can you do now? I mean, sure, ask for air, but I think it's too little too late. You've got this many gunships around your commander. And look at the play there. He pulls his gunships out as just before the commander's going to go. And thus, Penguin hangs on to, what's this, 7 of them. They'd, of course, all have gone down. And there we see the strat bomb finally taken out just as it gets its final kill there as well. Yet another one out. And so this is dangerous play from Rotted Banana. He is going very, very aggressive on the air. We see his opponent, Ed, of course, much higher rated, hasn't really got any air yet. That can only be because he's putting more into eco. Remy there, really? That, no doubt, in reference to the fact that Rotted Banana was doing the old hover bomb tactic, getting maximum destruction on that base, maximum bang for his buck. Although was made to pay the price. Rotted now hovering right near the enemy commander, perhaps applying some psychological pressure there. But yeah, as we were saying, that the more aggressive Rotted Banana is with his air early on, the more time it's giving Ed to build up economy, which could, you know, could mean that at any moment that air superiority is going to switch right over. And if we take a look here, how many's Rotted got? He's got 22 ASF. Well, for a player that's ecoing, they can knock out 22 ASF very, very quickly should they switch. Looks like they're saying not ACU, please. I wonder if that means don't kill the commander. Penguin here, just very, very aggressive. He's full health. I'm a little concerned by just quite how far forward he is. Look, yeah, the pathfinding again. Look at these units here from Penguin. You can see where he's trying to get them, but they're not going. Put in, you know, they need a second waypoint to make their way there. He's got 4 units here and a gunship. That's it. Yes, he's full health. But, you know, we've seen, especially the pro-rated players, they're very good at using transport ships and flying very high value, high damage units around the map. And Penguin could suddenly find himself cut off and surrounded. That quick, his feet wouldn't touch the ground. Yet another strat out here. It's going to get picked off, though. I'm not sure how many kills that strat had. Certainly 2. Is, of course, questionable if those mass points were even upgraded. Again, I think they were the same 2 taken out before. Either way, very, very expensive to produce strat bombs. Certainly 4 or 5 of them at 17 minutes. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Ed suddenly gets Penguin surrounded. He's got 6, 7 bricks here. Penguin starts asking for air. I'm not sure air's your problem, pal. It's bricks. completely surrounded with bricks. Well played. Right, Banana there asking, what did you want? They had several Tech 3 gunships kill me. I didn't see the gunships, man. I mean, call me blind. I may have missed it. But I just saw Tech 3 bricks around you, mate. I just think you went too far, too deep. You got yourself chewed up and spat back out. 2 versus 2 on 18 minutes. And the first little lull in activity we've had, and I don't know how it's happened, but Remy has been able to re-establish on the mid. Thankfully, this was just a solitary message. I didn't even have to tick to not repeat. Did not impact on the game. Just one little beat missed between 2 players, potentially. Always when somebody quits, things can go sideways. Ping over here. Go on then, Kavat. Drop it off. There we go. A solitary Otham tank. And assuming Kavat uses this, I'm not seeing an awful lot. In fact, I see nothing in the area to stop this. We got these flat units. Well, that's about as much use as a chocolate teapot. Siege tank moving in. This is all right. We got Tech 2 mass point here, heavily damaged. Another one here. And the others are all Tech 1 that have been upgraded to Tech 2. Ed has the solution, however. A Tech 3 whaling gunship. Seen over here as well, this counterattack. This was the problem, right? You had such a bulky commander pushing over here. In this case, Penguin. Now, once he was taken out, the 3 or 4 units that were with him, they were only at the Tech 2 stage. They're going to be easily brushed aside. And then this brick wall can push on through. And there's almost nothing to stop it. At least Rotted Banana, you know, repositions these units that were, you know, lost hiking up the mountains into a more suitable position. But again, what is a couple of Ilshis and a sniper bot when you're up against a brick wall? I puts it to you, nothing. Spy plane run down here from Ed, keeping tabs on what the team's doing. And looks like Remy just chucking away some antiquated spam versus siege tanks, as well as the old Ilshis here. But even those are going to be massively outgunning the Mantis there that Remy's chucking forward. The Mantis scum! Man, I hated those things. There was one unit I used to hate more than any other as a UEF player. It was the Mantis. I don't know why, there was just something about it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that's... I keep wanting to say Lunishko, but of, you know, Rotted Banana, whatever. Either way, whatever name you give him, there's not much he can do versus this brick wall. Nicely placed strap bomb. I'm not sure it got any kills. No, it didn't, but it heavily inflicted damage on the bricks. Nice little hover bomb turn there. Does pick off one, heavily damages 2 more. Gets out of dodge. Is he going to be able to swing that round? No, he isn't. The bouncer bounces the strap bomb there with its final missile. Of course, a lot of damage now inflicted on these bricks. I think the strap certainly did what it was supposed to do. And again, Rotted Banana, no choice here but to continue rolling back this defense. Trying to keep this. We've got Tech 3 and Land HQ here. And a Tech 2 going to Tech 3. So he won't want to lose this if he doesn't have to. But I'm not seeing too much of a choice. Bricks continuing to push. And there's the HQ. That's the most important. And that isn't, of course, to discount the fact that Rotted Banana may have another online elsewhere. Either way, it's a strong forward operating base that was a starting position for one of his team. Or at least very close to it. Leaves the whole eastern side wide open. I do like the very slow rolling retreat here. This is just masterful play with the sniper bots. They've been able to lay down damage on these bricks the entire time. And the bricks, the only unit I saw them pick off was one straggling Ilshi from a while back that just got caught dawdling a little too much behind the rest. And so this here really is a lesson in how you can make use of an inferior force and still put out the damage. This time, Rotted Banana's turn to have a scouting gander. And Kavat now is, he's lost just over half. If we count this mass point here belonging to Remy. It does now offer a bit of a counter-attack, but as best I can tell, all of this is spam with the exception of what's flown in. Oh no, he does have one upgraded. And so Kavat perhaps realizing he does need a little tech in the middle. And I'm not seeing any tech now from the other side. We had this drop here, a couple of rhinos. This one here, what a hero, Rhino Man. 35 kills. And he ain't finished. It's not every day you see Tech 2 units with such insane amount of kills. Unless, of course, you're talking flak. And the enemy decide to fly a bunch of bingo aircraft over the top of them. Checking in over here. Remy pushing forward for the umpteenth time. This time not just with spam, but a lot of loyalists in this mix. Does, however, have Kavat's commander who's going around with a mobile shield. Beautiful overcharge there. Picks off 3 units in one, including 2 with the tech. And so no choice here but from Remy to stop this attack. And just the 1 unit he did get through. Well, there were 2, but now there's just 1. You may as well just keep that Mantis. It's dead now anyway. If you get a unit through, you may as well just try and push it outside. If nothing else, to cause your opponent, the APM, to deal with it. And if not, we'll trickle it round and pick off a mass extractor or something. We see now deadly effective tactics like that can be on games of this caliber before. So yeah, looks like this guy is well, I don't know what's up with him. Rotted Banana certainly going to want to have words with whoever's in charge of navigation aboard this unit, or maybe it's just there's one pilot. Either way, I can see him losing his ticket after this one. Rotted Banana with a few gunships. Now, I'm not sure if these were the gunships that were initially handed off or donated to him when Penguin went up. If you remember, we saw a few gunships there belonging to Penguin that were pulled out the way in his battle versus Icy Tis. They last for naught. Let's have a little look on ASF numbers now. What we got? 135 for Ed and 99 there. And so that's exactly what we were talking about. 99 for the Rotted Banana. And so, yeah, I mean, you could say, all right, well, if you take out 4 or 5 strats, that would make up for the 30 odds or 40 ASF. Yes, probably. I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly how long it is, but I would say in terms of build time and economy and resources, it roughly works out around 1 strat for 10 ASF. Of course, if you're counting more on power or more on mass, though, that the exact number is going to vary a little. And looks like here Rotted trying to gather up a few strats. Ed, though, with a few scouts in the area, will pick that off. And that'll encourage and engage. Take a little look at the ecos as well now at 27 minutes while there's this little lull in activity. Mass income totals. Well, it's neck and neck. Look at that. 930 versus 915. Ever so slightly favouring the Hotties down south. It's a very, very small advantage. We're talking... Oh. We're talking like 1.5%. It's very, very close. Making me struggle. Certainly nothing worth shouting about. So these 2 strat bombs, I guess, being used because they've been picked up. One of them gets a bomb away. Does it even do anything? No. The other one gets one mass extractor. So 2 strats for 1 Tech 2 mass extractor. Now, I didn't even bag all 4 storages. He only got 3 of them. It's a bit of a counter-attack over here from Rotted Banana. But yeah, I really like the use with the shields, the lightning tanks, the chicken bot. This is the same 5... I say 5, but it feels like 5 units. Oh no, but they've gotten a problem. Shield or not, and the lightning tank or no. Something has come to extract the life source out of these, if you want to believe that alien mechanical beings have gotten a life source within them. But either way, Soul Ripper, look at that, completely annihilates that army. First big air engage now, and you can see that, well, we know Ed's got numbers. And it looks like their Rotted Banana finally recognizes he's going to lose this fight, and so he best try and kill the experimental. I mean, going to lose there anyway. Sure, if he'd have stayed on the aid, he'd killed a few more ASF, but that would have left the Soul Ripper alive, and so I completely agree with the decision there. And that leaves air firmly in control with the Coolies. Cybrans got the air. Rolling towards minute 30. Let's check in now. I did hear a chicken somewhere, and here it is. 18 kills so far. Not too much if we see the mass kill, just 5,000. Perhaps a couple of sporadic units here and there. But bricks versus artillery. Well, that's going to go Remy's way, providing he doesn't walk in a straight line for too long. I do like the play here, perhaps a little overcautious, but bringing this support behind. The shields, very important, the anti-air, especially when you know your opponent has air dominance. You certainly don't just want to send experimentals forward unescorted when you've seen your team has just lost air, and then wait until your experimental starts dying to strat bombs and start pinging for air. The amount of times I see that. Also seen an experimental over here as well. Banana reclaiming the mass. How much we got there? 23,000 just on that shot down Soul Ripper. I'm surprised Kavat not being a little more aggressive over here. Siege tank does pick off the brick. Look at the shadow coming. A second Soul Ripper now from Ed. And I'm just wondering, is he going for the base, or is this a methodical step-by-step jobbing on the cards? Kavat, massive retreat, no doubt due to all these forces and spotting the megalith. And look at this, sprinkling deceivers in the mix there, Remy. Realizing he can't shoot what he can't see. The Soul Ripper gets picked off from Banana, who's managed to amass enough ASF in one place at one time. But again, at the expense of losing all air dom. And that's allowed Ed to spend some time getting a bunch of whalers together. And they're going for Kavat's main commander here, who's 20,000. But I don't think it matters that he's got nano. Not when you've got this many 26 whalers after you. No, it ain't happening. Kavat, 32 minutes, bowing out. That's a 2 versus 1. The Cybrans in the lead. Got air dominance. 2 players. And once again, a desync will just tell us the second time not to bother us with it again. Usually you know if it's really badly desync because you keep getting the message over and over and over again, and then the game, all of a sudden, bizarre things start happening. Thankfully, that's not happening here. I have to say, though, now is the time for Ed to make use of his air dom. He's got it. We've seen Remy pushing over here. Yes, Rotted Banana is below a 2K, but not by far. He's 1953 on the rating. And those of you curious about the screenshot thumbnail, it was somewhere around there. And I'm not sure if he's trying to write a secret message here or if it's just the lay of the land. But yeah, when we say there's just one problem with this, there really is, right? It's a fantastic air grid. I'm sure given time, Rotted Banana will be able to make this work. But would it hurt that much to put a shield here and there? Like, really? Would it? Chicken over here versus... well, the Soul Ripper together with these. I mean, is this going to get anything done at all? Well, it's going to get a couple of Tech 2 mass points. Maybe a SAM site as well. And that's going to be it. That there, an expensive attack. I'm not sure if Banana would have been best holding it back. Perhaps amass a little more anti-air. Of course, easy for us to say in hindsight. So let's just have a look here. You can see there how these units just disappearing thanks to the deceivers there that Remy's been employing. Mobile stealth field system, these little guys. And that's enabled this force to waltz right on in to Banana's base. Now, I suspect if Banana had seen those units, all of them for what they were, he would have brought this force back sooner. And again, Remy, realizing the gig's up, splits some of the units off and keeps just the 2 or 3 that were already deep in behind. I mean, they're going to get picked off anyway. Check back over here. So much going on the screen right now. Another air engage, another Soul Ripper. Once again, Banana goes after. That's the 3rd Soul Ripper he's shot down. But I have to say, numbers looking a little more even than they were before. Is Ed going to win this? Ed says no. Ed bails. Banana's on his 6. Flies over a bunch of SAM sites on his way out and all. And looks like the lead pilot here picking off on a couple of stragglers. And at some point, Ed's going to have to make a stand or fly over a SAM site of his own. Of course, if your team's been dominating on air, usually the last thing you're going to start building is more SAM site. So a couple of whalers there trying to sneak around the side. They've been picked off. But look at this now. 8 strats. We got any more? We've got 9. And of course, these guys stealthed up. Our friend down in red, playing by his lonesome at this stage, has got no idea these boys are coming. Despite, you can see how far the Omni sensor reaches. This blue line, of course, as soon as I zoom in, it disappears. And it looks like there, he's making use of the target priority mod, having switched over to experimentals. And here comes the strats. Half of them shot down, 5 of them remain. Bombs are away, 4 remain. Ed going for the spread attack, which would have been great, assuming they all got through. Just take out one of the factories, heavily damages a bunch more, but there you see the real weakness of... I'm really surprised we're not seeing a couple more shields dotted about from Hotties. It's not like you have to shield the entire area. Just shield like here and here, and that'll be enough to stop any chain reaction, even if you do lose, you know, a little bit on the end. A few more here from Remy flying right over the most heavily defended part of Banana's base. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose behind that was, but what I can tell you is this is Tech 3 artillery. Bang! And this problematic, beautiful air grid showing its weakness. There goes the 5th now. There's a 6 going down. raining in like a machine gun. In comes more. And it looks like now Rotted Banana panicking, very quickly working on his shield. But look how many were just taken out there. You're talking, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 factories and the associated fusion air grid. Checking in over here. Massive air engage. But I think this is going Rotted's way. Let's have a look. Rotted with 200 ASF remain. Yes, flying over Sam Site City. Never the best place to fly a holding pattern, but when you've got this much air, why not? I guess his attention is focused elsewhere right now. Seen Remy here probing with this. Brick wall together with a megalith. 3 chickens pushing up though from Banana. So you're not going to want to leave. You know, all go for one of these and then try back off. Hope that the Ion Storm will help. But just, oh, this is sick. This is sad. This is just, oh. Man, oh man, oh man. I realised there was a bit of a spoiler in the title, but really, that's like 75% of that air grid gone, and you can see he's having real power issues. Shields fluctuating on and off at the worst possible time. His commander's actually slightly damaged from some of this long-range artillery, and it looks like the artillery has been switched up to the commander. Difficult to say, of course. I think this is a time, if ever there was, to split the screen. There's the air grid. We're just going to have to move the map down there ever so slightly. Are we focusing? You know, we know he's got air over here. It's this what I'm interested in. Megalith having gone down. Very heavily damaged chicken remains. Escorting units as well. Surely it's going to get it. It does. Gets a little rank of vet as well in the nick of time. Oh, shields once again blinks off just as the artillery smacks in. Oh, more going down. I think it was very lucky not to lose more there. Rotted Banana needs to pause more of his units. Very nice strap run there from Remy, trying to go after the heavily damaged chicken. Plus, with these units in tow, they will be able to shoot the strats down, but I think there's just enough bricks here to put the chicken to bed. And with the final strat, it is indeed. The chicken has come home to roost. Can lay itself an egg and form part of the dinner there. I'm sure Remy and Ed are going to be hungry. Strats there going after Rotted Banana from the south, perhaps hoping the shields were going to blink off. But as we hear, this has perhaps been responsible for a lot. Experimental bomber falls onto a shield and, oh dear, one of the worst experimental bomb runs we've ever seen. In fact, touching down, at least when he splashed down there, he killed about 5 or 6 Tech 1 engineers, so it wasn't entirely for naught, but it may as well have been. I'm sure Rotted Banana at this stage has stabilized his power somewhat. Let's have a look. Indeed he has. He's got loads now, 26k positive. I think that's enough to start getting a few bits and bobs online. See, he's managed to rebuild part of this air grid. I think, let's have a little look on numbers. Well, 33 versus 72, and that's before we start counting what Remy may have, who's got a few here as well. And so, once again, distinct advantage for the Coolies. But with yet 2 more chickens, make that 3. Pushing deep inside enemy base. This is a nuke defense and all. The first chicken goes down, but it takes the air grid there, belonging to Remy together with his nuke defense. 2 chickens remain. Ed has got total air dom in this area, but has he got enough whalers to put this chicken out of its misery before it gets inside the main base? Rotted Banana will certainly hope not. Chicken just under 50% health is a 4-star. Got a little ways to go for 5, but this is Ed's main air grid, and it's just gone half of it 2/3 of it. Oh, 3/4 of it. The chickens are 5-star. And bang, that's it. The air grid has gone. There's one factory left. One factory, and there's artillery raining in here. Let's put the map back where it belongs. Quick push over here now from Ed. Counter-attack. We've got 4 Spider-Wots walking down. But they're walking headlong into a chicken. 2 of them already heavily damaged. They're both down. The chicken remains. And that leaves just 2. Both of the chickens have been dealt with that were left there from rotted banana. But the damage is done, man. I really ate full shares, says Remy. Understatement of the century, right? Game was going so well until full share came around. Long range artillery now. How many has he got? Is it just the 1? It is, but I think 1's all he needs at this point. He's punched through. Ed is trying to re-establish over here. It's just not enough. The Disruptor here, this was responsible almost for knocking Rotted out of the game. We saw about 3/4 of his insane air grid going up. And it just shows it's not just to do with how much he can build, but that perseverance to continue when everything's starting to go against. There we see now that Disruptor, and I think with it, the last hope there from the Coolies. See another chicken walking through. Remy thinks that's it. Lobs in the towel. Full share should be banned. Aye, ban it. It ruins the game. No, snipes should be banned, says Rotted Banana. Laugh my ass off, indeed. Full share ruins the game, says Remy. And with it, don't believe I'm saying this, the Seraphim win. The 1900 wins. The 1 versus the 2, with the second player having the 2000 win. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoy that game. Thank you very much for watching, and yes, do let us know your thoughts on what you think about sniping commanders and full share and all of that good stuff. If you are interested in the Patreon thing, supporting the channel, want to help out and get a couple of 1 versus 1s in there so far, I'll be working on more. Do check out the links to the Patreons. Thank you ever so much for those that are already there. Your help is always appreciated, but never expected. And until next time, wherever in the world you may be, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. From me here deep inside the UK, take care. Bye-bye.